I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Well, day 22 of the World Cup is in the books, and plenty of long streaks were snapped on Thursday. Switzerland ended their 88-year wait for a knockout round victory as they cruised past Algeria 2-0. Swiss 20-year-old Johan Manzambi now has 5 goal involvements in this year's tournament. Spain, they also got their first World Cup knockout stage match win since 2010, and maybe their most decisive victory of the tournament by beating Austria 3-0 behind a brace from Mikel Oyarzabal. That's 5 straight clean sheets for Spain to start the tournament. And Portugal came from behind to defeat Croatia. Ronaldo scored the equalizer, his first ever goal in the World Cup knockout stages, and Gonzalo Ramos came off the bench for the game winner in the 93rd minute. It wasn't without controversy, though, with a late Croatia goal being ruled offside, and we will be diving into that later. But hey, that didn't stop Ronaldo from taking to the hotel room balcony after the match to celebrate. Look at him, pumped up, guys, about this huge win for Portugal. So Portugal advance on to the round of 16 along with Spain and Switzerland, the latest 3 countries to book their place in the next round. Guys, we have just one more final day of the round of 32 before everything is said and done. Buenos dias, welcome into Morning Footy 48 Nations presented by Geico. Feels good to Geico. I am Claudia Pagana alongside Tony Miola, Charlie Davies, and JD Dyer. Well, you guys have definitely had an eventful week. I think we all have with the World Cup, but you guys are fresh off of Chicago for the USMNT win. You're back in here the day after. Tony, how you feeling? You catching up on some sleep?
Well, I'm trying to, yeah. Chicago was incredible, right? The fans were great. The atmosphere was great. Going to yet again another city. We'll be in Nashville again on, is that Monday? I don't even know the days anymore. And you can just see the excitement in and around this team. People believe in this team. They're having fun with the World Cup. I mean, so many positive things. And just being around the fans was incredible. This guy was around them a heck of a lot more than I was. Like, I was trying to focus on the game, and I'm like, I can't do it like Charlie. You know, he can talk to the fans and focus. I'm not that smart, and I've got to just kind of focus in on the game. But well, it was so much fun.
I was telling Charlie that Lisa and I drove into work yesterday, and we were listening to the Call It post-game show, and everybody's talking, and Lisa goes, "Where's Charlie? Is he not there?" I was like, "No, I saw him posted on IG stories." And then all of a sudden, halfway through, Charlie goes, "I'm here, guys. I'm celebrating with the fans outside, no AC." So, Charlie, that's just the kind of guy you are.
Just with the people, you know? To Tony's point, traveling around this country and being with the supporters that have been there for us when we were on the pitch, and the new generation just getting involved with this sport, it's been phenomenal. Boston, my home city, to see that city just embrace the world and embrace the sport. You know, it's such a traditional sports city, a sports town, and football, soccer has never made it to that upper echelon. We're talking about, you know, the Red Sox, Bruins, Patriots, you know, the
Celtics.
Iconic, right? Now everyone's like, oh, this is legit. We're all about the sport. And for me, it's like I've been flying this flag my whole life. And now it feels like the country's accepted it for what it is, and it's amongst the best. So I couldn't be more thrilled to be a part of this coverage and see the country fall in love with the game the way that I did back in 1994. So Boston, New York, Kansas City, Chicago, and now we're heading to Nashville. I mean, doesn't get better.
Have they all felt different? Have they all felt different, each of the environments?
You know what? No.
Nah.
In terms of love and the passion and enthusiasm, everyone has been there So, I'm looking forward to Nashville. I think Nashville's going to bring a certain type of energy.
Yeah.
We went to watch the game last night. We said, let's go out and eat and watch the game. We're just here in Stamford, right? And they've got the little strip here.
Mm-hmm.
We were just trying to figure out which TV we were going to watch down the whole strip. I mean, it was a choice of, and I'm like, this is Stamford, Connecticut. You know, this isn't like London or Paris or somewhere. I mean, this isn't like in our country. So
It was a good environment, Tone?
it was unbelievable. The whole, and we were there. We did Brazil a couple of, a week or two ago, just to go in the city and watch a little bit. And we literally could have picked one of 50 places to go watch the game. That never happens here.
Maybe I'll stay here in Stamford, Connecticut for the Colombia game tonight. Obviously, I've got the Colombia jersey. We have a huge Colombian population here in Stamford, Connecticut. But listen, you guys are talking about the USMNT game. That was just one of what feels like several World Cup games, JD, that are just coming down to the wire, including that Portugal-Croatia game. Absolutely insane if you're a Portuguese fan thinking that it's been tied up at the end and you're about to go to extra time. Absolutely crazy if you're a Croatian fan thinking that you tied it up at the end. What did you make of the very final minutes of that game?
I thought it from an emotional perspective. I felt a little bit sorry for Luka Modric. That was my initial response, just because that's going to be your farewell. But then I had the credence of thinking to myself, like, I think because Modric has given so much to the game, there's an appreciation and a deeper love for the game. And that type of fairy tale ending, even if you're on the opposite side of it, you can appreciate that I was a part of that type of moment. I know obviously the initial response is always going to be, well, I'm out of the tournament, but it did feel special. It did feel like it was a moment for Portugal, especially with all of the narrative that's been around them throughout this competition. And every single time Roberto Martinez chooses any team, it's always a question mark as to whether or not he's choosing the right team. But I did feel like when you saw the energy that was, especially in the final 30 minutes of that game, that was what I call World Cup football at its almost peak. That really does summarize as to why it means something. I saw passion. I saw flexibility in terms of, and I saw two teams that weren't scared to forget the tactic sheets for a second and just say, we're just going to try and go for this. We're just going to try and win. And the pride that I saw from both of those two nations, it was, I think, nothing short of sensational. So I'm not either Croatian or Portuguese, but I felt like I was a bit of both when I was watching both the games. So it was phenomenal.
Yeah, and you could see Ronaldo. He was taken off. He was taken out of this game for the first time this tournament, right? Mm-hmm. And you could just see the absolute frustration on his face. They were, what, 1-0 or 1-1 at that time when he
1-1.
They were 1-1, so you know that he definitely wanted to come in. And we actually have someone in the comment section saying if Ronaldo doesn't start in Portugal versus Spain, then the game will be 50-50. How do you see
I don't know if they mean
Ronaldo being
does that mean that
Ronaldo
is a does that mean that they're saying Ronaldo is a deterrent? If it's 50-50, does that mean, are they saying that Ronaldo, it doesn't matter if Ronaldo starts or they don't start. Portugal versus Spain is not going to be 50-50. Spain are the better team. Like, we can all see that, like.
Were you guys surprised to see Ronaldo taken out of this game early, Charlie?
No. To be honest, I've been waiting for him to be taken off in multiple matches. And it's not just him. I think Bruno Fernandes as well hasn't really gelled with this team yet. Roberto Martinez is still moving some of the pieces around the puzzle. He hasn't found the best combination yet, which is crazy to think that they're in the knockout rounds, in the round of 16, and he still hasn't found the best version of this Portuguese side yet. We've seen João Neves and Vitinha play so well together at PSG and the players around them, but within this team, we still haven't seen the best of João Neves. Now, Vitinha is Vitinha. He's still getting involved, still getting touches, but I haven't seen this Portuguese side unlocked. It's interesting to me that Rafa Leão now is getting his look, and because he stretches opponents and he has that pace, the team has looked a little bit better. But ultimately, Cristiano Ronaldo, he doesn't give you that mobility in the front third. And there were times yesterday, if you're watching, that he would take up positions where you're saying, hey, get in the box. Don't slow the game down. There are times where Portugal wants to open up and get into the attacking third and be a little bit quicker in getting to goal. But for whatever reason, Cristiano Ronaldo wants to float out wide and slow the game down and stop and keep possession. And sometimes, I look at Nuno Mendes yesterday. He breaks into the box. It's the start of the second half. He's got a one-on-one with the keeper, And instead of shooting, which I think 99% of players get to that position of shooting, he's looking for Cristiano Ronaldo. And there's still an emphasis on every attacking player to find Cristiano Ronaldo in the box, and instead of maybe taking the best opportunity, which would be to go at goal.
I said to Charlie last night, as soon as Cristiano was coming off the field, I said, this is the problem with not taking him off in one of the first 3 matches, where I thought there were moments where you could have taken him off, because then it becomes a story and we're talking about it. They're 1-1, they're in a knockout game, and you take off Cristiano Ronaldo for the first time, right? Then it becomes a story for me. And I think Roberto Martinez, in a lot of ways, for sure, I think he should have come off yesterday. I thought his race was run. And I know the question mark now is going to be, should he start, the next game? Should he not start? I think there's no question he has to start the next game. He's been your guy. He's been the guy you're running with. But you have to be willing to, and this is what we said in the first 3 match days, and everyone said, oh, you're crazy, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. I get it, but take the name off the back and look at the performance, and I think you would have said, any manager would have said, okay, that position, right, is not a position that's helping us in this game, and I think that's why it becomes a storyline. Look, Cristiano's going to start. He finally gets that monkey off his back, getting that first goal in a knockout stage, which he hadn't had before. Hopefully for Portuguese fans, he finds a little bit more joy in the box somewhere. But for me, I look at this team, JD, and I think this midfield, I expected a heck of a lot more out of them. I expected Neves, Vitinha, and Bruno Fernandes to be a little bit more in sync. I think this Portuguese side is a little bit more about the midfield right now than it is about Cristiano. Although I thought it was the right decision to take him off yesterday.
I'm gonna respectfully disagree with my 2 friends here, and the only reason why I'm gonna disagree is because I agree with what they both say about Ronaldo's involvement, but I feel like because of the weight of his name, we look at and we put him on this echelon of thinking that we need to see the Cristiano that was 29, 30, 31, 32, where he was incredible. Like, you can put him in any conversation with any footballer that's ever touched any football on God's green earth, right? But I'm looking at a 41-year-old, so I'm looking at the management of a 41-year-old. So the second you included him in the squad, you knew what you was getting. Like, we all knew that this was the version of Cristiano that was going to be here. But I always say, like, sometimes I want people to defer from, I know what you're saying with the eye test, not denying it at all. But I will say to you the opposite. If I said to you after 4 games he had scored 3 goals, forget what you had seen. If I just said that to you, would you be satisfied so far?
Depends.
No, that's
it does.
Chuck D. This is what I'm talking about with Chuck D. If I said to you after 4 games, Cristiano Ronaldo has scored 3 goals, forget what you had seen.
No.
You wouldn't be satisfied.
No, because again, you could tell me there are 3 penalty kicks. And would that be satisfactory? And I'd say no.
Okay.
Especially look at the teams that they've played against. I'd say absolutely not.
I always think it's so interesting when I look at the modern number 9 now, because when I just looked at Ronaldo's stats, what I didn't look at first? I didn't look at his name. I thought to myself, who would be a comparable as to the amount of touches, the amount of shots, the amount of goals in this competition? And I don't hear the same conversation around Erling Haaland, because that is your automatic comp in terms of the involvement in the game, in terms of what they're doing in the final third, and everything else. Now, I'm not silly enough to turn around and say to you that Erling Haaland doesn't have the threat in behind. He's arguably one of the most dangerous strikers at stretching the game. But I want to know what's Ronaldo's role in this competition. And I don't believe it is to be the focal point. I think it's 2 things. I think number 1 is to be the decoy, because of the reputation that you have, and everybody believes that you are going to be.
He's been a decoy?
A decoy?
Think Cristiano Ronaldo's been a decoy?
Wait. I said I believe it should be to be the decoy. Whether or not his ego accepts that is another thing. But sometimes you can have the responsibility of, Chuck D, if you're the best player on the pitch, or in reputation-wise, you've got the biggest reputation, but you're not the best player, because he's not the best player in this Portugal team.
Do you think Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't think he's the best player?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
There's a difference between knowing and thinking and believing, and for Cristiano Ronaldo at 41 years old, there's no doubt in my mind that he doesn't think he's the best player on that team. And he's the best attacking player on that team, and he doesn't think he should come out. He's a player at 41 years old that thinks, I've taken care of my body so much so that I can play every single minute. And I deserve to play every minute. And
rightfully so, because when you're the 1% of the 1%, which you're talking about Cristiano being, like, I can understand in your mind what's taking you to that point. You in your mind are undefeated. You're LeBron James, you're Tiger Woods. You believe still to this day that you're the best athlete that's ever walked.
You can't allow yourself to
You can't allow yourself to go into any other zone. But truth be told, João Neves is better than him right now. Vitinha is better than him right now. Bruno Fernandes is probably better than him right now. And even Nuno Mendes is probably better than him right now. And just in terms of an overall body of as a footballer. But unfortunately, he is, I see the team still deferring to him.
Yes.
What they need to recognize is, if you can defer to him in terms of the mentality, but you can't defer to him on the pitch. So you don't make special allowances for him on the pitch, but you still recognize where his strengths are. He is still one of the best goal scorers in this competition. The stats prove it. 3 goals in 4 games. Any striker across the competition so far would accept those numbers.
2 goals against Uzbekistan, though. That doesn't play into any of it?
Why Uzbekistan deserves to be here because, and this is what we're not doing in this tournament. We're talking about this is the best 48 teams in the world. We've been talking about 48 nations. So everybody deserves to be here, and I can only beat who's in front of me. If he scores 2 goals against Spain in the next game, do we turn around and put the lever in terms as to be like, oh, it's only Spain or it is Spain? I can only beat who's in front of me. That's all I can do.
Well, I want to pause this conversation real quick because we do have Christina Uncle, our rules analyst, on the other side waiting for us to talk about, I know, so...
We're in trouble now.
Christina, I don't know if we got you on one of the shows yesterday, so we wanted to bring you in today to, of course, talk about everything that happened at the end of the Portugal-Croatia game with that goal being called offside. So can you walk us through exactly everything that happened here?
Yeah, so no, definitely. I mean, it was the slightest of touches, and I think that's where everyone's getting. And now with the technology, you can see, and they pause at that last point of contact. But here, particularly, what kind of threw people for a bit was the slightest of touches was identified and helped by the VARs through the ball technology system that they have within this ball. Something that many people don't see about, we've only seen it in the last World Cup, but within that ball, there is a microchip. And I know this geeks out very much so. And yes, you actually charge the ball into the wall to get that energy into it, but it actually tracks at like 500 units per second. So what we saw yesterday in the Croatia game was the slightest of touches that reset the offside decision line that allowed the officials to go to the monitor, take a look, confirm that that was accurate, and overturn the goal that was given. So a very kind of higher advanced level of technology. Like I said, we're kind of getting to the points. I think the referees are going to be fully robotic here in a second if we continue to use this technology. But it was the correct decision that did impact and affect the outcome of the game, but in the correct way.
Are you guys happy with that, Charlie? Tone?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's one when you watch it, you don't see anything, but obviously the technology is there. Christina, did you say we used it in this same manner? Because I remember the offside, they were using it for, the kick point on the offside in 2022. Would it have been used in this same situation in 22?
Yeah, it's used really primarily for kind of 3 different areas, right? Offside, to be able to determine when it was last touched by another teammate to the individual, right? Anytime we talk about handball situations, one that didn't happen in this game, but probably super helpful, right, was in the Scottish Premier League this year, where they were wondering whether it would have touched someone's hand or not, based off of an angle. Just any of these kind of slight touches or nuances to really understand when that was impact. That's when you can use the technology, and that information goes directly to the VAR system. So that's what helps accelerate the referees in that VAR booth to know when to put that kick point, because the technology integrates into their system and lets them know when the last touch occurred.
Christina, I'm just curious, how sensitive is the microchip? So, because we're hearing that it's just a follicle of hair. So does that count if it's like a piece of your hair and it hits the ball versus like skin? Like what's the definition of a touch? Just trying to clarify.
I mean, the definition of touch is everything, right? It's like, to your point, a follicle of hair. I wasn't expecting to say that this morning on TV, but okay, a follicle of hair. But anything that has some impact that the sensor can pick up, right? And like I said, it's very, very sensitive. It's able to tell not just the point of contact, but the velocity, the speed, the direction. So yeah, if it's picking up a follicle of hair and that's hair is strong enough to make it change its direction, it'll be picked up by the ball.
Man, Tony's stubble, that thing would move, right?
I'd have scarred it. I'd have scarred the ball.
Everyone's going to start shaving their head and going bald just to avoid any of that. All right, Christina, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Of course. Have a great morning, all.
Tony, Charlie, could you guys have imagined having that technology? Oof.
Not quite sure the inventors of the game thought it was coming to this, but here we are.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break here. Much more to discuss on the other side. Stay with us.
start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon? When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready, do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. With the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others, but they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And we live the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Are you sure you are in Zadar?
Yes, of course I'm sure.
You just have to listen. Listen closer.
I don't hear it at all. I don't hear anything.
It's called the sea organ.
It's called that for a reason, John.
Just trust me.
So you're saying that's the sea breeze making the notes?
Yes, that's exactly what I've been telling you.
You know what? I do hear it. It's fantastic.
John, I don't have time for this.
You have to start trusting your fellow Croatians.
By the way, Luka, everyone was right. Croatia is beautiful. I love Dubrovnik, Split, Pula, the entire coast for that matter. Plus Zagreb was incredible.
John.
Slovenia was so peaceful.
John.
Lika, Zagorje were fantastic.
John,
and the
John. I have to go. I have training.
Training? Wait, are you still playing? How old are you, man?
Are you still acting? How old are you?
Okay, that's fair.
John, I have to go.
Yeah, okay. Have a good one.
And John.
Yeah?
Enjoy Croatia.
But please delete my number.
Thanks for nothing.
Well, yesterday was the last time that we'll be seeing Luka Modric play at the World Cup. He has 202 caps for the Croatian national team, making him the most capped player in their history. Now, 2018 was a year that we'll always remember in his career. He led Croatia to the final in 2018 World Cup and was named the tournament's best player before winning Ballon d'Or. 4 years later, in 2022, he led Croatia in yet another deep run where they ended up finishing third that year. The 40-year-old has just finished playing in his 5th World Cup, making him just one of 6 players to ever do so. And after the game against Portugal yesterday, Modric was asked about his future with the national team and said, "About my future, yeah, now is not the time for that. So, yet to be determined how much longer he'll continue representing his country of Croatia." But Tony, Luka Modric, I just learned, is actually your favorite player of all time.
He's been for years. I went from Iniesta to Luka Modric, and I've always said now in the last couple of years, once Luka Modric retires, Vitinha will become my favorite player. I don't know why. I just like midfielders. I like guys that are creative, guys who run the game, guys who have their finger on the pulse of the game. Those are just the players that are attractive to me. I get you need a goal scorer. I understand you need guys that put up numbers. You need the Ronaldos and the Messis and now the Haalands and Mbappes, but those are just the guys that are attractive to me. I've been blessed now, at least for a season. He came to the club that I love, Milan, right? And I didn't know prior to this he had sort of this affinity for Milan, right? It was one of his boyhood clubs that he talked about. And when you think about when he grew up, Milan was at the top of the mountain, right? But to watch him play has been incredible. That 2018 season, the run that they made, his contributions to his club and country that year were incredible. We're going to miss him, man. He's been one of a kind. So we sat yesterday and Charlie goes, okay, give me your top midfielders of all time, in kind of this era.
Where does he rank?
Where does he rank?
Yeah. And then Iniesta, Zidane.
Yeah,
you know,
he's in there, you know.
He's in there, but where?
100%.
How high did you put him up?
Would you rate him ahead of Iniesta?
Oh, this is going to sound quite crazy. I actually might. And the only reason why I might is because Iniesta was a part of an incredible team, was a phenomenal player. Very similar in terms of the way that they kind of dictate tempo. And I watched Iniesta kind of revolutionize football in terms of how we looked at it with that Barcelona team, with Xavi and Ronaldinho and all those that came through. But I kind of look at Modric and I feel like he's had a number of different spells. Like he left Tottenham at what, 29 years old? He was
No, he was much younger.
Was he? I don't think he was, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go by your word on this one. But like he left Tottenham and I feel like I'd had a good preference as to who he was and what he had achieved in the Premier League. And I didn't see his ceiling being as high as it was. I thought he was a phenomenal player at Spurs. But when he went to Real Madrid, he went to a completely different level. Like, I watched him go with the world's best and go and win all those Champions Leagues and the Ballon d'Or that we spoke about. And not only that, it's what he's still doing in the embodiment of consistency. You know why I put him up there with the others in terms of their greatness? It's the longevity of it. Like, we need to really appreciate that he's been doing this for 2 decades. And that, for me, and you guys will know, that's not easy when you're talking about playing at the highest level and still playing in the World Cup at 40 years old.
Well, yesterday as a neutral, it was definitely hard to figure out who to root for, with Ronaldo being on Portugal and Modric being on Croatia. But Charlie, Portugal is the team that goes through, so they'll be the one facing off against Spain. So as we look ahead to that match, let's go position by position and see who you think has the edge in each category.
Yeah, pray for me. All right, let's start with the keeper then. So we're going between Unai Simon and Diogo Costa. Now, Unai Simon has 4 clean sheets, but he only has 4 saves in this World Cup versus Diogo Costa, who has 2 clean sheets, but 14 saves. And he was phenomenal yesterday against Croatia. But just because he hasn't been scored on, you have to go Unai Simon. He has not conceded a goal, so I'm going to go Spain. They get the check there. All right, now we're going to the back line. Pedro Porro, Cubarsí, Laporte, Cucurella versus Cancelo, Diaz, Vega, and Mendes. Again, Spain hasn't conceded, so I'm going back line, Spain.
Okay.
Midfield, good Lord. Now, Rodri, Pedri, Olmo, Merino, Gavi, Maurice Zubimendi versus Neves, Vitinha, Bruno, Bernardo Silva, Ruben Neves, and Trincao. Good God. I gotta go.
Why you look so stressed?
He looks so stressed, right?
Why do you look like you're choosing between like insurance support?
Yeah. I'm gonna go Portugal here. I'm gonna go Portugal here. I'm gonna go Portugal here because I take these things serious. You know, I'm gonna go Portugal here. I give them the edge in the midfield.
How much did the depth play a part in this? Because we've been talking about this midfield for Portugal hasn't really clicked like maybe we thought they would. But they also, I think they also have some really good depth as well.
It's hard to go against the Spain midfield. Are you going by individuals or are you going by their relationships?
Well, we're looking at Vitinha, right? So Vitinha is the best player in that midfield for Portugal versus Pedri, right? That's the best player right now in Spain's midfield is Pedri. Now, João Neves hasn't been at his best in this tournament yet, but we know what he is, and we've seen glimpses in this tournament. And Bruno Fernandes has been a shell of himself, given what he's given to Manchester United this season and his performance in the Premier League. He hasn't gelled with those two. And Bernardo Silva coming off the bench still hasn't really found his footing. But if I have to give an edge of quality, as much as Spain is stacked, I'm going to give it to Portugal. I'm going to give them the edge. Now we get to forwards. Spain. And Lamine Yamal, he tips the scale so much so. He's on the precipice of being that next guy for generations to come. We're talking about Ballon d'Or after Ballon d'Or after Ballon d'Or if he can stay healthy because of all the games that he's playing. But Oyarzabal, Ferran Torres, Baena, but when Nico Williams gets back healthy again, we're talking about two of the most dynamic wingers in international football playing together. And then on the other side, Cristiano Ronaldo, Gonzalo Ramos, Leao, Neto, Joao Felix. I think Roberto Martinez still hasn't found the right fit yet, but I'm giving the edge to Spain in that forward category.
Can you say Mikel's last name for me again?
Mikel Oyarzabal.
He brings that up.
So what about
real
the bench?
Spaniard
No bench,
here.
no head coach.
Yeah, we're
bench and
going
head
to go to bench. Bench. I'm going to go to Spain. I'm going to give Spain the edge on the bench. And then manager. As much as Roberto Martinez, took Belgium to third place in the World Cup in 2018, he won the Nations League against De La Fuente in 24-25. Luis De La Fuente gets that check mark. He's got the edge. He won the Euros in 2024. He's won Nations League. He's runner-up at Nations League. But he's also won the Euros at the youth level, at the 19 level, the under 21 level. And he's only has 2 losses since taking over with Spain. So Luis De La Fuente, salute. But, hey, both top managers.
Who did you give goalkeeper to? I know it's not in our graphic, but who did you end up giving
Unai
goalkeeper?
Simon.
Yeah.
He hasn't conceded a goal. And the back line hasn't conceded a goal. And I get he's only had 4 saves, but how can you argue, like you said, JD, you play who's in front of you?
I'm intrigued by this fixture, and it's probably the one that I've circled the most in the next rounds because of one singular factor, which I genuinely believe this could be a moment of a passing of the torch. And when I look at the history of sports, forget football for a second, there's always these moments where you have, Roger Federer versus Pete Sampras, right? And you had Tiger Woods versus Jack Nicklaus. And you had, I'm sure,
so
Tom Brady and...
Who's Djokovic now?
Wait, Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes, right? I'm just trying to show people that there's a moment here that we're going to kind of watch because no matter... See, Brady and Manning. I love the fact that the production team's giving me some clues. And the thing is, the reason why I say this is because Lamine Yamal hasn't quite announced himself in this tournament. We know in terms of the confidence I've seen in the press conferences and the understanding.
Because he's building himself up.
And they're building himself up. And there's a moment where you can grab the headlines and have a standout moment in the tournament.
You think it's now?
And no matter what you say, going up against what I saw, the aura of Cristiano Ronaldo, especially when he went out yesterday on the balcony and addressed his fans and said, "Vamos," like, there is still an appeal with Cristiano because of who he is. But then you can have your moment by stealing the spotlight from him. And no matter what we say, there is this mental battle between the players that have the biggest egos in every team, where they're turning around and talking about, hey, you're not going to outshine me today because who I am and what I've done in terms of in world football. But Lamine is waiting for that moment. This is your chance. This is the chance to turn around and tell everybody, this is no longer Cristiano's world, this is now Lamine Yamal's world. And I think if he understands that, the fitness concerns are definitely a thing.
I think it's been Messi's world, though, for a while.
That's the next level. That's the final level.
Okay.
But you
Final boss?
That's the final boss.
Yeah, okay.
That's the final boss. But where you are right now, you can still take out an all-time legend. You know, Street Fighter. I'm old enough to know Street Fighter. You know when you think you won the game and then the other dude comes out around the back. I'm telling you, there's still one more level to go. But to grab a headline, to grab a moment in a World Cup, to go and defeat them convincingly and have that standout performance, and then have the embrace between the two. That is the passing of the torch from one legend to what is soon to be a legend if everything writes out properly in Lamine Yamal, and that's what I'm intrigued about.
Well, a lot of people in the YouTube comments do have Spain having the edge here in nearly every single category as well. People saying Spain to win 3-1, Spain to win 4-2. Someone saying Spain plays as a team, whereas Portugal plays as individuals. So there's a big difference there.
It's a very fair comment.
Charlie, thanks for putting that together for us. You're a little less stressed. Someone get him a...
The stress went away. I felt good after I got it off my chest. I'm good.
Whatever you choose.
So Spain have the big advantage right now, okay?
He was so
España.
All right, guys.
So stressed.
Well, before we go to break, how about we do one of our favorite segments here, a little morning footy trivia. I think this is what stresses Tony Miola out the most here. All right, our question of the day is... Spain's last round of 16 win came over Portugal in 2010. Who scored the lone goal in a 1-0 victory? So I'll let you guys think about that.
I got it.
All right. Well, keep thinking about it. We're going to have the answer for you soon coming up. But right now, we're going to take a quick break. Much more coming up on the other side.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon? When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready? Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Morning Footy. Time for our trivia question, and we will be getting some guesses from the guys here. So the question is, Spain's last round of 16 win came over Portugal in 2010. Who scored the lone goal in a 1-0 victory?
Are you confident?
Tone, I
have my guess. Yeah, but I picked from one.
No idea,
yeah, I picked from two guys, Fernando Torres and David Villa. I went Villa.
I went Fernando Torres.
And I'm flipping a coin.
Yeah, I went Fernando Torres.
Okay, 50-50?
I know.
Okay,
okay.
That's why I asked Tony first. I want to make sure Tony knew.
Charlie?
David Villa.
There we go. Ding, ding,
By
ding,
the
ding,
way,
ding, ding.
So I played against them the year before, and you knew where those goals were coming from. Luckily, we didn't. Iniesta wasn't in that team. He was injured when we played them, but it was David Villa and Fernando Torres. Obviously, Iniesta came into the picture when he was healthy, but you had Cesar Fabregas, Xabi Alonso, Xavi. So you kind of had an idea who was going to create their goals, and usually it was David Villa or Fernando Torres. They're always on the end of the.
Did he play as an inside forward there, or was he playing the definitive as a number 9?
They played both as two strikers.
Crazy. Yeah. Crazy work.
All right, well, let's keep having a little bit of fun. Charlie, if you're good at, taking some guesses, let's put a little Guess Who. This is World Cup edition. So these are people who are involved in the World Cup this year, all right? So only pick out names that are involved this year. So I'll tee up example by example or just little tidbits, and you guys try to guess who. So
you said playing in the World Cup this year. That's not possible.
I did not say play in the World Cup. I said involved in the World Cup this year.
This is still not possible, is it?
26 appearances for Italy, playing in 2 World Cups. I said people. I did not say just players.
Okay.
Wink, wink. All right, so 26 appearances for Italy, has played in 2 World Cups.
Oh, I know who it is.
Let's bring in our next note here.
I know who it is. I know, yeah.
1 league titles in all 5.
It's Carlo Ancelotti.
Yes, it is. 1 league titles in all 5 of Europe's top leagues.
Come on.
1 most Champions League title as a manager, and is now coaching his first World Cup with Brazil.
I see where they're going now.
I was good. I like that. I like that. You know why? Because I heard the stat the other day. He's the only Italian at the World Cup. That's what I heard. So I knew that. Okay.
There you go.
I like
all
what
right.
you're doing.
Now we're warmed up.
Sorry.
He's rubbing it in, right?
I thought we were only doing players, but
yeah, okay.
My fault. There's no Antigans at the World Cup, so don't worry, Terry.
Cannavaro was at the World Cup with Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
With Uzbekistan. All right, let's move on to our next person. Doesn't represent the country that he or his parents were born in.
Could be a whole other place.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
All right. Let me give you a next clue.
That sounded a very American comment.
His professional career began in Belgium.
Okay, I feel like I know who this is.
Can I go Jonathan David?
There we go. Won the league on title during 5 years in France.
Damn, bro, that was good.
And he's all-time leading goal
was really good. That was
for his national team.
Good. That was very
really good.
That was before seeing the third one, by the way. So
yeah, that was very good.
Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy.
We okay?
Charlie, all right.
We okay?
I've only got 2 more. You guys are
out over here.
Yeah, I'm just. I love when our statisticians they try and trick you,
Marcus and our stats team probably put a lot of this together. I know he's smiling somewhere right now. Yeah, that's all right. We understand.
All right, we have our next one. You guys are moving through this quick. I only have 2 more. All right, our next person made his club debut at 19.
Yeah.
But didn't debut for the national team until he was 25.
I have an idea.
I got an idea as well. I got a couple that's run through my mind.
Should we have them take some guesses before I show the other hints? Or should we give a hint?
If it's
One
Spain,
guess.
If it's for Spain?
No, I don't think
he play for
Spain.
Spain?
I don't think it's for Spain.
I can't tell you.
I think it's Somerville.
Because if he plays for Spain, I got it.
I can't tell you. Do you have a guess?
I think it's Somerville.
Who?
Somerville for the Netherlands.
He said no.
No.
Could I go?
1. Didn't you just take 1 guess?
I haven't guessed yet.
Okay, dale.
Mikel Oyarzabal.
No.
Got it.
No.
I was going U.S. men's national. Okay, let me see here. Oh, no.
Played for clubs.
Takes it out of there. I'm out.
Played for clubs in Brazil, France, Russia.
It's in Russia, bro.
And England.
Okay. Well, we should know who this is then.
Should I give you one more clue?
Yeah. We need more than that.
All right. He is a supporter of Corinthians, but never played for the club.
Played in Brazil, France, Russia, and England. National team.
Russia's the key, right? You got to figure
it has to be the key. Oh, this is good. So he's Brazilian, definitely.
All right. Let's get
no. He might not be Brazilian. Let's not get thrown, because I know people that support.
I've got one more clue. You guys want to see it?
Let's go.
All right. He won his 2nd career league title in 2025-26 and nearly won Champions League.
Gabriel.
Ding, ding, ding,
Gabriel.
ding, ding.
That's where
the Russia throws you off, doesn't it? He played just one game in Russia, I believe.
Yeah.
Played one game?
One game.
Wow.
Enough for us to put it in here and try to throw you guys off.
One game in Russia. He did.
Yep.
That's a good one.
All right.
That's a great one.
Good one. All right, we've got one more for you guys. Let's cue it up. First hint is this player has had a 15-year career where he has played in 2 different countries.
Okay. That takes Lukaku out of it.
All right, let's bring in another clue here. Played in more than 500 pro games since turning pro at the age of 22.
Luka Modric.
At 22.
No, so he says 2 different countries. He's been in a few now.
He's been in a few. He's playing. This is his 3rd country now. He's in Italy right now.
And
he played in
15
England,
years.
Spain.
15 years.
And 15 years. We just spoke about how he spent 2 decades playing football.
Any other guesses? Oh, I love everybody in the YouTube comment section is playing along with us.
Wait, 500 matches since turning pro?
Yeah, Modric is over 750 matches.
Pro at 22.
So.
Yeah, that's...
Pro at 22 is crazy late.
Yep.
All right, keep going.
Oh, wait,
All right,
he turned pro at 22.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's crazy late.
Made his international debut in 2010, but his first World Cup was in 2022.
So he played in Qatar. That's
First
interesting.
World Cup was in Qatar.
But then, even though he made his international debut and this might be his first World Cup, he might be playing for a lesser nation.
Wait, 500 matches since turning pro at 22.
15-year career. How many countries has Mo Salah played in? But I don't think Mo Salah never turned pro.
Should I give them the next clue?
He never played younger.
So he's got to be. I mean, he's well over 35. Yeah.
Next clue coming up. He is the captain of his current national team at the age of 38.
Is it Bonu the goalkeeper?
No.
No.
Ooh.
First World Cup in 2022.
Oh, that's just throwing me. This
Stumped.
is good.
Tim Ream.
Yes! Good job, Tom.
My dog. I knew you was going to come in with the clutch, big dog. Different.
Let's go.
He was waiting for it.
I wasn't waiting. I was getting hints. I was getting hints.
22?
That's crazy.
Yeah, at the Red Bulls.
Late.
Yep. Good job, guys. You enjoyed that? I think each one of you guys got one of them.
I really enjoyed that.
Those are fun. You got 2? You got 2,
I'm
JD.
competitive. My fault.
All right, settle down, settle down. All right, guys.
I want to see that. I would like to do a couple
Can we do
more
that again? Can we load that?
We'll bring you
By the way,
into the next one.
By the way, that Shadows and
We're going to take a quick break here. More coming up on the other side.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon? When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready? Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
I look crazy. It's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in 2 worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it? A crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Morning Footy, presented by Geico. It feels good to Geico. Let's catch you up with some of the latest headlines. We're going to start with some news over from Italy in Serie A. So just months after being fired by AC Milan, Max Allegri has landed at Napoli as the successor to Antonio Conte. Allegri will join on a 3-year deal. He won a Scudetto with Milan in 2011 before enjoying a prolific spell in charge of Juventus, winning 5 straight titles. The second stint at Juventus and a brief second spell at Milan were less successful, with just 1 Coppa Italia title to show for his last 4 seasons. Now looking at some of the latest transfer news, according to The Athletic senior writer Tom Bogert, Gabriel Peck is headed to Brazilian side Cruzeiro. 16-year-old Jeremy Monga is headed to Manchester City. Bayern Munich announced the signing of Germany left-back Nathaniel Brown, and a move that isn't happening is Enzo Fernandez to Real Madrid. The Spanish Giants released a statement denying any interest in signing Fernandez. The 25-year-old has been linked with Madrid, but said that out of respect for Chelsea, quote, the club considers it necessary to categorically deny speculations that are unfounded and do not correspond to reality. Fernandez was previously reported to be one of Jose Mourinho's top targets this summer. JD, what do you think about some of the statements made here with that entire situation of him potentially going to Madrid, but then all of that coming out?
All due respect, and this isn't to defer you, you're always the host, you're the queen of this show. I actually more want to talk about Max Allegri getting another job. Is that possible? Can we talk about it with Tony as to how Max Allegri somehow...
The recycling league. Max Allegri's going to get a job, right? And because he's Max Allegri, because Napoli wants him, right? Because what he does is win, but it's the league of recycling. Does he win? He won at Juve. That's it. And then he won the Coppa Italia at Juve in a moment where they needed a championship. But he was going to get a job, Max Allegri. I just think you're committed now to playing ugly football. It's just what it is. I watched it. I witnessed it. We saw it with his last version of the Juventus sides. And I was feeling like under Antonio Conte, Napoli was playing like pretty good football, for a little while. And now, but it's the recycling league. Every year I go and I just take the same managers. When we cover Serie A, and I just move the managers. Yep. And for like 6 weeks, I'm like, oh man, wasn't Max Allegri at Milan last year? Now he's over here now. And that's what you do in that league.
But Tony, do they not look at the blueprint of what was success last year? Como was the biggest element of success last year. What happened was I think
Italian football is scared of Como. They're scared because you got to change everything because there's not an Italian in that team. Right?
But that's a good thing. That's what you want. And I know it happens in the national team.
It's not good if you're an Italian football supporter. You're in the federation. It's not good, right? Because look at the results they've gotten for 3 World Cups. They haven't been there, right? So, yeah.
But having a better league and a more dynamic
I'm with
league
you. No, I'm trying to give you an insight to Italy, right?
Become better.
Yeah.
It feels like they're stuck in their old ways.
They are stuck, Charlie, in Catenaccio. That's what they're still, for me. Right, we thought it was opening up a little bit with some managers.
They don't want to evolve.
They have. Well, clearly they don't because they haven't. Right? It's not as if they don't have the resources. They don't have resources in the Premier League. It's not as if they don't have resources in Europe to evolve. I think they're just they're scared of the Comos of the world because you got to change a lot.
As someone who's watching and has appreciated the league for a long while, it almost disappoints me to watch the direction that Italian football can clearly see what's happening at a national team level, but then domestically is actually a bigger concern because you're looking. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and telling yourself you're going to get a different result? Like, it's actually embarrassing to turn around and say that these managers are getting fired from your rival clubs and you're going to pick them up and give them the same responsibility as if they're going to be a different result here. Like, it's actually ludicrous when I actually say it out loud and they're watching it. It's like watching the demise or something that you appreciated and you grew up on. Because as 90s babies, like, Italian football was it. Everyone wanted to play there. That was the standard. What everyone classifies as the Premier League now, Serie A was that. It had the best players in the world. It had the best managers in the world. It had the best defenders in the world. It had the best style of football in the world.
Best kits in the world.
Best kits in the world. It was beautiful to watch. And now I'm watching the demise of it. I almost feel like I'm a little bit like upset that no one wants to revolutionize and say, hey, we need to be progressive here. And then there was a blueprint. Como's gone from Serie B to Serie A, and not just done that, but stabilizing onto the Champions League with a Spanish ID and ideals and a Spanish identity. And you're just ignoring that. No club's being brave enough to say, hey, we need to go and be a little bit more expansive because this isn't working here. No, we'd rather just do the same thing over and over again. Honestly, it winds me up, and I'm not even Italian. Yeah. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
What about Ruben Amorim being appointed Milan manager?
Yeah, well, look, and I didn't know we were going down this direction, but Ruben Amorim being the manager, I'm looking at it. 2 years ago, he was one of the most highly sought-after young managers in all of European football. So I'm hoping that his ideas translate better to Milan than they translated to Manchester United. And I'm hoping that he learned a lesson at Manchester United that I can't be so stubborn, right? And he's going to probably the most stubborn country in all of world football, right? In Italy, in Serie A, the reporters, the way they think about the game. So I'm hoping that he's learned from those moments, because it's going to be really important in his success. Yeah. But I'm not against Ruben Amorim because he was so highly rated. Okay, didn't work out at Manchester United. We know that, and let's see if it works out here.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's continue on with our news. I know we could keep debating this all day, but let's move over now to some World Cup related news. Algeria's loss to Switzerland in the round of 32 spelled the end to Riyad Mahrez's international career. The 35-year-old led Algeria to the knockout stage for just the second time in the team's history, and he retires with the second most goals. He was also a member of the 2019 AFCON winning side as the team's top goal scorer. Mahrez said after the match, quote, "Representing Algeria has been a dream of mine ever since I was young, to play for my country. It's been an immense honor." Moving over to Germany now, the DFB announced that Julian Nagelsmann has stepped down as head coach after their stunning World Cup round of 32 exit. Nagelsmann said Friday that the team deserves a fresh start. The DFB said that it will now begin talks with Jurgen Klopp to be Nagelsmann's successor, saying, quote, "He has already signaled his general willingness to take on the position." Klopp has been a leader with Red Bull Football Group since 2024, but he told a German broadcaster on Monday that he hasn't thought about the job yet. All right, well, those are your latest headlines. We got more Morning Footy 48 Nations coverage coming up on the other side.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And we live the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
American soccer is taking center stage this summer with the 2026 World Cup being played in the USA. And CBS Sports has a trio of documentaries that help tell the story of the sport in this country like no one else can. Take a look.
Soccer isn't a new game in the United States. The immigrants brought it here in 1912.
The opportunity to play for my country, I just could not pass that up.
We're all very proud of you.
Not everyone is aware of what happened in important historical moments for American soccer.
I was a kid that shouldn't have made it. Kid from Nacogdoches, Texas.
Clint Dempsey Doodle.
Kind of one of those things I wasn't going to be denied.
People criticize me often.
You can't take it seriously. It's the USA.
But I get to have that attention because I'm good.
We were carrying the weight of American soccer on our shoulders.
I'm gonna put it shot.
Probably unfair to 20 guys.
When he looks at you, he looks like he wants to kill you. And I have respect for that.
It's about how much are you willing to give to win.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
The USA has realized its dream.
Dempsey through the wall and away! What can this kid do?
Paramount Plus is your one-stop for the best documentaries in American soccer. You don't know where I'm from, dog? The story of Clint Dempsey is one of several docuseries, along with Pulisic, a 9-part docuseries that gives you a behind-the-scenes look into the life and story of U.S. star Christian Pulisic. And Billion Dollar Goal, a 3-part docuseries focused on the biggest game-changing moment in American soccer history. You can watch all 3 documentaries exclusively on Paramount Plus. We're going to take a quick break here. More Golazo Network, 48 Nations, coming up.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in 2 worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Morning Footy. 48 nations. Well, I don't think anyone here has forgotten this match between Paraguay and Germany. They went into a penalty kick shootout. It's the first time in Germany's World Cup history where they have lost in a penalty kick shootout. So obviously Germany being also such a huge giant in the World Cup. For Paraguay, they were the underdogs, Charlie, coming into this game.
I watched it with my kids. My kids were like, oh, Paraguay, vamos, vamos, vamos. I was like, okay, let's go. It was great to see. By the way, it made me feel a little bit better too because the U.S. absolutely wiped the floor with Paraguay in that first game. So, it also said, hey, Paraguay's got quality to take on Germany and move on to the next round. So, job well done.
So by default, the USA have beat Germany. That's what I'm getting from this. But hey, Paraguay beating Germany was the 4th largest World Cup upset. So of course, all of that is going viral. But what is it like for a fan
Look at
to
that.
go viral
Calma.
during the World Cup? Well, Fabio Meza, a Paraguayan American, has found out in recent days what it's like to go viral during the World Cup after this image of him telling people, "Cálmate, cálmate," during Paraguay's match with Brazil. And that image has gone absolutely everywhere. People using it here after just 1 week of dating. She already wants to get married. No. Calm down, calm down.
That's a good one.
What else?
That's a good one.
What else do we have here? How else have been? Oh, you're 28? When will you marry? That's what your mom says. And you go, hey, calm down. Cálmate, cálmate. Chill. No, too soon. Too young at 28. Another one saying, since he hit the gym, we haven't seen any improvement. Chill.
It's coming. Chill.
It's coming. Listen, Fabio is absolutely everywhere. You have definitely seen him on your timeline. And now he is joining us. Fabio Meza. Fabio, man, what's up? I already knew you from social media before this viral moment, but what's it been like since going so viral in that image?
First and foremost, big fan of the show. Excited to be on this screen. It still feels a little surreal, but no, yeah. It's been crazy like 3 days. I would say my phone hasn't stopped ringing, and it's funny because it's all walks of life, and that's really the power of the World Cup and the stage, is that while I already had like a little following, like now in Paraguay, it's like I won't be able to walk the streets in Paraguay. I just went to a Banderazo yesterday in Times Square, and you could just see a different look in people's eyes when they look at me. And I've been obviously reading the message in the comments, and the message, like just everything's just gone through the roof on my phone. Like I can't even get to everything. I've got like I said, all sorts of walks of life. But I think the cool thing is just like people in the gaming community and really in the States, because like most of my audience is in South America, even though I was born here, but like I just haven't been able to just like break through in the States / like English speaking community. So I think like that's been cool to like put my like culture, my where I'm from, like everyone knows me as a Paraguayan American around like New Jersey where I grew up. Like there's a strong Paraguayan community here. And so I think the coolest thing is just being myself, it's like that's like my catchphrase, tranquilo nomás. It's like, just chill, because us Paraguayans, we're so hot-headed and we're so like, just rabid individuals. As USA saw in the friendly against November, like we just we're very proud of where we come from. We defend our own. We're not the biggest, we're not the most, the richest country. But when we come together, it's very strong. If you look at, even South America history, like Paraguay is the one country that didn't have a dictatorship to rise.
So Fabio, talk to me about that first game then. So we're talking about the World Cup. Paraguay's in the knockout rounds, but going into that first match, you're Paraguayan American. Where did your allegiance stand going into that match? Were you confident in Paraguay's performances? Did you think the U.S. were going to play as well as they did? And then what do you think after that match before getting into the game against Germany?
I mean, I'm a bigger USMNT fan than most Americans. Like, I was the youngest credentialed media member covering the 20 World Cup. I had the pleasure of working with Conrad, someone I get to call a good friend. And I've always been a proud American, but it's different with Paraguay because it's like the first jersey you get, it's your blood. It's something that I can't really describe. It's so deep rooted in me that it's the team, I'm not like, I don't really have a club. I have a club. It's my teams have always been USA and Paraguay. And so for me, it was very easy to choose Paraguay because we're the underdogs, USA has all the money in the world. Like, they have all the players in Europe. Like, it's funny because I went on Tactical Manager's stream before this World Cup, and I said USMT is about to ball out, dude. Like, everyone's just like hating on that. I don't think they realize like the level of talent on this team.
That's what I'm talking about, Fabio. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go. It's true. It's true. And like, I just feel like that win was so important because first of all, I knew we were going to get spanked because we played Nicaragua. You guys played Germany right before. Like, Nicaragua was not even in the tournament. We the tournament, like, play again. But still, I think USA is like, that was the best USMNT team I've ever seen. The way they were pinging the ball, like, it was beautiful. It was like, it wasn't just like beautiful. It was like, they were pressuring. Like, they still had that robust, like, American, like, never give up mentality, but it was like European technique. It was beautiful quality on the pitch. But yeah, I was happy that they won because the beginning of the match, the Paraguayans were louder, but by the end of it, it's like Americans just need a win. They need that, like, momentum. They need to feel like they're the best, which I get, like, who doesn't? But as soon as they felt that, it was like, USA has just been.
So you're flying high right now with
Paraguay
Paraguay and US. You're flying high because both teams are doing their thing.
I mean, it's in this tournament though. Like, you can't really fly too high, Chuck. You know this. Like, one game at a time. We're about to play France. Like, let's be real. Like, I've been getting interviewed. Like, is Paraguay going to be France? How? I'd be naive to say that. I'd be naive to just like. I looked at the projected roster today. I'm like, yo, we gotta play these guys. Like they're so good. But at the end of the day, it's a game. You gotta get out there, 90 minutes on the pitch. It's settled on the field. So it's like, tranquilo nomás, Chuck. Like, tranquilo nomás. They're gonna, they're gonna play. We're gonna see what happens. And at the end of it, we're gonna see if we advance, but if not, at least we beat Germany. Like, for a small country
Absolutely.
like us, we haven't been in this World Cup. We haven't been in World Cup in 16 years. So that was a win in itself. But it's dangerous when we're playing with house money. We gave Spain in that 2010 World Cup their most difficult matchup. Like, David Villa come out and publicly said it. Like, so, I mean, if we beat France, it's like, wow, we're 3 games away from winning this thing. But it's also like tranquilo. Like, that's 3 of the most toughest games in the world. It doesn't matter who you play in this tournament at this point, Tuck. Like, if you've made it this far, you got a squad. So, yeah.
Well, Fabio, it's not tranquilo. It's cálmate. Let me correct myself. I said it was against Brazil. It was obviously against Germany. You guys, if you continue to advance, would face off against Brazil. And then I would love to also see that cálmate if you guys take on Brazil. But Fabio, we actually have a little surprise for you. Can we bring in Nico Cantor? Nico, are you there behind the scenes?
Tranquilo nomás. Fabi, I'm so proud of you, bro. Everything that you've done. Hey, Fabi, listen, I just want to give you a nice little shout out because I think Fabi deserves his flowers for going viral. I've known him for a really long time. Always good energy, good spirits. And I'm so happy that you're getting this recognition, bro, because not a lot of people get to have this on the World Cup stage. And I think you represent everything that at least I stand for as well as a Latino American, right? You shifted your content from English to Spanish, especially as, you know, being born here. It's very difficult to break into those markets. I haven't even broken into the Argentine market. And you've been able to, you know, translate the Paraguayan culture into the United States. And now we're here in the US talking about Paraguay in English, your culture and everything you're doing. So appreciate you, bro. You're el número uno. Grande, Fabi.
Game, recognized game. We've been boys for a minute, and you know it's funny because in the States sometimes, you know, it's like Latino culture is one big thing, but you know it's you know, there's every different country has its culture, and you know most of the Latino culture in the States is dominated usually by like Colombian, obviously Puerto Rican influence. You know, Mexican obviously is huge, but you know, to be, you know, Argentina is so far away, so you know, just to break in as an Argentinian and Argent.
Oh, we lost him.
But we got Nico.
We lost him. He got too excited. Nico, while we wait for
We lost who? Fabi or me?
Yeah, we lost Fabi.
We got you.
Nico, do you have a good Fabi story to tell us?
Okay. Yeah, so Fabi has a mate brand, right? It's called Toma. He makes his own yerba from Paraguay, and I tasted it. He brought it over to my house, and I tasted it. And I said, wow, my dad's really going to like this. And I sent it to my dad. My dad loved it. Fabi showed up to my parents' house with pounds of yerba mate to give to my dad. And now my dad and Fabi love each other so much. Like in the middle of the World Cup coverage, my dad said, Fabi, come to the hotel. And they chilled, they filmed some content. So, you know, my dad doesn't just stop his World Cup coverage for anybody. It's a little bit of game recognized game. So I'm happy that happened. And I'm happy Fabi's getting his moment because he definitely deserves it.
Nico, I love it. I hear that you're going to link up with Fabi when you're in the New York City area. What are
you on a train right
What are your
now?
guys' plans?
No, into Philadelphia. Yes, we're using public transportation this time. Don't tell anybody, Chuck. We're on our way. We're on our way we're on our way to New York City. Just because we couldn't make it happen with the RV because we got a lot of stuff to do in New York City. So after that, we're then meeting Fabi in Philly because that's where the Paraguay game is at tomorrow. So we're gonna pregame, not Philly style on the 4th of July, Paraguayan style. Because they let you tailgate outside of the stadium.
Ooh.
One of the few, if not the only stadium that they let you tailgate. So we're going to be hearing the cumbia paraguaya. Okay, one of the few, I said, not the only one. Gosh, look at that Boston. Look at that Boston pride coming out. Come on, Chuck, chill, bro. Let me just tell my story. So we're going to be doing Paraguayan barbecue from the morning all the way to the night. So beers are going to be on tap, the good steak, good music. I'm ready.
Nico, how do you tailgate? Do you tailgate with alcohol or do you tailgate with mate? Or both?
Good question. And you know Paraguayans when it's hot, they don't drink mate, they drink tereré. It's there he goes. Fabi knows it. So Fabi, it's cold mate essentially. That's basically what it is. So hook me up with some tereré, Fabi.
I got you, but dude, you come on my phone and all of a sudden my phone heats up, the temperature. That's why the thing shut down. Nico came. There was too much heat. There was too much light and heat in one call over here.
You gotta tell your phone, tranquilo nomás. Tranquilo nomás.
Tranquilo. But yeah, I was, dude. I just before I cut off, I just wanted to say I'm your fan, bro, and I'm giving you flowers right back. You're an inspiration of mine, and I can't wait to tailgate tomorrow. We're gonna be hanging at a World Cup game, eating a salad, drinking beers, Latin American style, and telling this story in English too. I think I don't know. This is the most exciting collab I'm looking forward to is with you, bro. So I can't wait to see you tomorrow, man.
Guys,
you're the man, bro.
We can't wait to see it. Look at all these Latinos. We have Paraguay represented, Argentina, Puerto Rico, República Dominicana. Charlie is one of our own. He is Dominican here. Guys, enjoy. Thanks for joining us.
Of course.
Thank you guys so much.
Tranquilo.
Shout out to Jimmy Conrad. I love you, man. I love you, Jimmy.
We're gonna pass that. We're gonna
Shout
pass
out to
that
call it what you
along.
want. Yeah, call it what you want in the studio. You know what I mean?
All right, guys. Well, make sure that you are catching up with Nico. You can check out everything that Nico Cantor has been experiencing on his trip across the United States during the 2026 World Cup on Golazo, Coast to Coast. Episode 1. Make sure you scan that QR code on the screen. Episode 1 is now available on Golazo Network and on YouTube. So scan that QR code. We're gonna take a quick break here. Much more Morning Footy, 48 Nations coming up on the other side.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad would want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back into Morning Footy, 48 Nations. We are doing a little bracket check-in, and I am relieved from doing this because I didn't get my bracket in on time, which, oops, but you guys did. So we get to put the two of you in the hot seat.
How convenient, Claudia.
I didn't get it in time. A little convenient, so I don't have to be on the hot seat here because my Champions League bracket didn't do so well last time around. So, Tony, let's check in with your bracket first. Let's see how it's doing. All right, I see lots of red X's here. Lots of crosses.
Yeah, so obviously we'll start down to Germany, Paraguay. That was what I struggled with that when I said, right? And Paraguay, I think most people had that. The Netherlands was obviously a toss-up for me. So I've lost down here as well. So got that matchup okay. Moving forward here. This was the big side for me. This is where I kind of took some chances, right, with Norway going through to play England. Ecuador and Mexico. Mexico for me, of all the misses, this by far was the biggest miss for me because Mexico was outstanding in this game. So I'm really looking forward to Mexico against England. We haven't played here. We're going to get that. We've So I guess we're okay here.
You're
we're
completely
okay.
good on that side.
Yeah.
So we're still looking good for you in the semis and the final. Everything is at least still looking good there.
Yeah, I think most of these, like Netherlands, Morocco, is probably a toss-up for most people. Belgium, Senegal was that way as well. I thought we hadn't seen the best of Senegal. They were there for 85 minutes, and then they were out in 5 minutes, or with giving up some goals. Yeah.
You picked Brazil over Norway.
This is where I always found. This is where I found I took the biggest chances. I took Norway and England to move forward here. So we'll see. I think that game's on Sunday.
Yeah, it is.
That one. So that was sort of the big risk I thought I took.
Sunday is Norway, Brazil, followed by England, Mexico. So that was going to be huge.
This is such a great game.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mexico here instead of Ecuador, but this is getting down in Mexico City.
Massive.
This one's going to be wild.
All right, Charlie, let's see how you did in your bracket. Let's bring it up.
Nice.
Walk us through
Yeah.
some of these.
Like Tony said, Paraguay, Germany. I outside of a Paraguayan, I don't see how anyone would have picked Paraguay to win, but here they are.
You had the accent to win.
Paraguay to win. But Morocco, I chose. I thought they were going to beat the Netherlands, and they'll get to the quarterfinals, where it's a rematch of 2022 semifinal, actually. But France are just too dominant. Here, you can see, I went Portugal, Spain, but I went Portugal beating Spain to get into that.
And the U.S. beating Portugal.
And the U.S. beating Portugal to take on, make history right here and get to a semifinal. Opposite side, Ecuador, disappointing. I thought if there's one South American, or one team in the World Cup, South American team to take on Mexico and Azteca, I thought Ecuador would be suited to do that. Really disappointing the way they played. But rematch of that famous 2002 quarterfinal rematch, England-Brazil. I love that. And then this is basically chalk, right?
Yeah.
So, bracket's not too bad.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm fully on board with the U.S.
Beep, beep.
Just continuing to make history.
All right, well, let's check in with our CBS Sports betting analyst, John Buckets-Eimer, because he also put a bracket together. Let's see how his bracket is.
Only one mattered in his. Yeah, only one game mattered, and that was the U.S.
he made
against
a bet
Bosnia.
with you
the
on.
rest of them, it's irrelevant. But let's go through them anyway.
Sorry, Buckets. I told you yesterday that Tony Miola was going to be in studio. You're lucky that Jimmy Conrad isn't also here, because he's the other person that you made a bet with over Bosnia beating the U.S. Tony.
Is that Tony over your right shoulder, by the way?
No, but it should be. Yeah, he should
is that
change
Tony
the
with the
picture.
belt on his? Yeah, the belt on his.
The long hair got you, but.
Is that you? Not him. No, I know. Shocking, right? It's JD's boy right there, but it kind of looks like Tony. I see the resemblance. A little bit.
Yeah. The hair.
Oh yeah, definitely. Buckets. Tone, are you going to hold Buckets to it to get the tattoo?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, Jimmy and I will come up with the tattoo and present it to Buckets. He can put it anywhere he wants.
It doesn't have to be your faces. It's just any tattoo that you guys want.
Well, the idea is that it was that we were going to get mine and Jimmy's faces.
Okay.
Yeah. So unlike Grella's, which just looks like some random guy smoking a cigar, I think I'm going to go with I'm going with the mullet. Okay. I think for my picture. Yeah, it's that one. Yeah.
I wonder what.
I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it hurt if we're going to do it, right? Yeah. But I'll talk to Jimmy, my partner. I don't want to overstep my boundaries, because Buckets, I do have a partner in this, right? We did have a 2-against-1 bet, so I got to bring Jimmy in on the conversation. Yeah. So I don't want to speak out of line.
Okay, I think the two of you will at some point be in studio next week. So Buckets, you've got a little bit more time to figure out where the heck this tattoo is going to go. But let's walk through your bracket. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just forgot.
Holy red.
Forgot just how many upsets I thought I was being quirky and clever with calling. And the one upset I didn't call was Germany winning, so that's awesome. Yeah, Germany, that was embarrassing. Let me see what else I got here going on. Netherlands lost. Croatia lost. I missed Bosnia and Belgium, sick. Japan lost to Brazil. Cote d'Ivoire lost to Norway. All right, guys, yeah. Thank goodness it's not my job to bet for a living. Oh, it is. Yikes. Okay, no, this is not my favorite bracket, but France and Argentina are still in, which was not controversial at all. No, this is bad. This is a tough thing to look at, I'll be honest.
But you know what? We can say this now, but if a lot of these games came down to the wire, and he could have looked like a genius.
That's the way to look at it.
It's one way to spin it, Claudia.
I'm here for the positivity. That's what I'm here
Buckets
for,
can
guys.
start watching again when the semifinals happen. Yeah, he's good in the semifinals.
Nope, it's humbling is the word I'll use. And it's going to be even worse when I haven't even told my girlfriend about the tattoo. So it's going to get a lot worse here very soon. But that's fine. We'll figure it out together, guys. I'm just happy to be part of the... Oh, my gosh, so much red. Just awful.
It happens to the best of them. Come on, Buckets.
It's better than mine.
I'm still enjoying the World Cup.
Don't worry, it's better than mine
than
because
yours?
mine doesn't even exist. So, and your bets have been hitting. So you know what? That's what you're really for, is for
Yeah,
the
your
bets.
bets
The
have been
bracket is another thing. All right, Buckets, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here. Much more Golazo Network 48 Nations coverage coming up for you on the other side.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And we live the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad in my hand.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome in to the Call What You Want 48 Nations pregame show here in Chicago.
So some typical American fans. Sir, do you mind coming? It's coming. Football's coming.
I got one question for Americans. For other Americans. Do you believe in miracles?
Well, Wednesday was a great night out in Chicago for the Call It What You Want crew, and the party is not stopping anytime soon. Call It What You Want hits the road again for Monday's round of 16 matchup, This time they'll be in Nashville at the Publix Plaza at Geodis Park. It'll be Charlie, Jimmy, Tony, Marcelo, and Poppy Miller kicking things off at 7 p.m. Eastern with a pregame show, and they'll be on hand for post-game reaction. Now, the last time that the U.S. and Belgium faced off in a World Cup match, it was Tim Howard that nearly played the hero. His 16 saves nearly led the U.S. to glory, but 2 goals in extra time ended up giving Belgium the win and saw them advance to the quarterfinal in the 2014 World Cup. The 16 saves remains now the joint most in history in a World Cup match. Just look at these numbers. 120 minutes is how much he played in that match. 16 saves and allowing just 2 goals here. And he had held on to this record for a very long time until, of course, Golazo's Eloy Room tied it up this World Cup. But, guys, Tim Howard and those saves will remain a very iconic game, despite the fact that they weren't able to eventually get the job done. But, Tony, what do you most remember from that match?
Sitting on my couch, just kind of in awe of what he was doing in the moment. I will say we don't want Matt Freese to be having to make 16 saves against Belgium, right? But, yeah, he, as we say, we use the term all the time, he stood on his head, right, in that match. And it was one after another, where he kept them in the game to a point where we actually had a chance to win the game, right, in a moment. But, yeah, it was incredible and should always be remembered as the best goalkeeping performance for sure that we've seen in the U.S. jersey. But again, I don't want to see another 16 saves out of Matt Freese in this one coming up. Yeah,
every time I see such a great goalkeeper performance, especially like we've been seeing in this World Cup, people are always quick to remind me, hey, it's not always a good thing when the goalkeeper is the top dog and the top one to shine in a game, JD.
Yes and no. I do think that a lot of people don't give goalkeepers the credit that they deserve, because they actually could save, they could pretty much change a game by themselves. As much as we give the strikers their flowers, goalkeepers also have the ability to do such. And I'm sitting here with a striker and a goalkeeper, so they'll tell you exactly the same, that a goalkeeper's importance is they're almost given the flowers when they do something that's amazing, but then automatically if they make one mistake, it's like everything is forgotten. So when you see excellence like what Tim Howard did that afternoon or that evening, you have to almost automatically remember that that's a stand-up performance. That's as good as any hat-trick that you will see, any brace or any magical moment, because every save requires a different level of concentration, a different level of intricacy, and a different level of detail in terms of what was required there. So I'm glad that we recognise in terms of how it was a stand-up performance, and I almost feel like it's an onus going into what we're going to see in terms of between the USA and Belgium this time round.
Yeah, so 2014 was a time where hashtags were a really big thing on social media. So after this whole moment happened, what was trending on social media was hashtag things Tim Howard could save. So people had the Titanic amongst a bunch of other things because of his performance. So, hey, we love social media. But, Charlie, in 2014, with the performance that we were able to see from him and from the U.S. that year, that really helped people in America become bigger fans of soccer. How much do you think, looking at now the run that the U.S. is having this year in 2026, how much do you think that'll help continue growing U.S. here in America and them needing to have such a good performance game after game after game?
It's bigger now. There's more exposure. People understand the game. And so what this group is doing currently right now is they're on the path of, the greatest run in our lifetime. So I look at Tony's group in '94. That kickstarted, that gave us the foundation. Without them, this wouldn't have existed. Then I look at 2002 and that run of just helping us continue to develop a football sense, getting to the quarterfinals and developing real technical players and a better style of coaching. And then we moved on to 2010 and in that Algeria moment where Landon Donovan scores and the whole country got behind that. And, this current team actually talks about that 2010 World Cup of Christian Pulisic being inspired by that moment. So that group had done a lot to continue to kind of move on from the 2002 group, and that 2014 group with Jurgen. That was a strong World Cup, because look at that group that they had. It was a group of death. To get out of that group with Germany, Portugal, and Ghana is top stuff. I always look at that match and being like, what if? Because it almost feels criminal for Tim Howard to put in a performance like that and for us not to advance. So I look at that group and you know, it was a special group for them to have competed in the way that they did. But this group right now, Claudia, really, they're on to something. And if they can beat Belgium, which I think they very well have everything in their repertoire to beat this Belgian side, that now we're talking about a run that the whole country is involved in. Because right now, at the moment, it feels like, you know, they're setting records with viewership. So let's keep it going.
An average of 24.4 million people for the Bosnia and Herzegovina game, with a peak of 31.9 million people in the second half, which is the highest rated English language broadcast of a soccer game in the history
They're going to break
of
it
the
again,
US.
of course.
But then this is why we all echoed it, but I definitely said that it's important for the host to go super far, because what I realized as someone who moved here, and even when I went to school here, because, and I mean this respectfully, America's so spoilt because they're so talented in so many different sports, and this is still going to be the epicenter of entertainment. Football never really got the flowers it deserved, because you have other football, American football, you have basketball, you have hockey, you have so many different, you have an array of sports you can play here, and so soccer or football never really got the attention it deserved. But I'm so glad that you went through the legacy, because what this group is doing right now is showing the rest of the world, hey, if you invest in this, if you believe in this, we can be as good as anybody that you see the history of the Brazils and the Frances and all the rest of it. That's why I've said this game coming up is the most important game in modern history for the USA. Because what it will do is, what Tim Howard's core group couldn't do is they couldn't beat Belgium. They couldn't beat Belgium, no matter how excellent Tim Howard was and whatever it was that performance, they didn't cross the line. By beating Belgium, because I've said it and I'll say it all week, the USA is a better team than Belgium. The eye test doesn't lie to you in what I've seen in this World Cup. They're playing better football, they have a better coach on the sideline, they're playing with more fluidity and more cohesion. You go out and you deliver that performance, all of those viewers will no longer turn around and say, hey, this is a sport that we're not good at, or we can't participate in, or we're not going to be as good as those big nations. No, this is a sport that we could go and dominate. When you put it in the mind of an American, they can dominate something. I've learned something about living here. They will take it, grow with it, and expand it and take it to a completely new level. So we're on the preface of something really special, and we all feel it because we breathe this sport and we believe this sport and we know what it can do it as an infectious level. But if the rest of the community can see it, the casuals can see it, that will turn into investment. That will turn into the next group of stars. So whether or not this US team goes and wins the World Cup or not, what they're doing is they're going to produce a next group of core of talent that is actually going to go into a World Cup and say, we're not just here to participate, we can win it.
Why not? Why not us?
With the mentality of an American, believing that they can win it and with the ability to win it, that's when you go and get a star in your chest. And it will come from people like Tony, all the way through to Chuck, to Clint and everybody else that have paved the way for the next group that actually say, hey, you know what? We've got a star because of those legends before us.
For me, 1994 was a springboard, right? People who didn't care about the game, who didn't know about the game, all of a sudden learned about the game and started caring. 2002 was a benchmark, right? We can get to a quarterfinal of a World Cup. We can do this. 2014 was heartbreak for me because I think we thought we were there with that group. And then they lose to Belgium. Rightly so. They were not the better team in that game, as you mentioned, right? 2026, this is our opportunity now. This is a combination of all of those World Cups for me coming together with the most talented group that we've had.
Yeah.
We had Christian Pulisic on Call It What You Want a few months back, and I asked him, I said, do you know the magnitude of playing in a home World Cup, like what it means, right? What it will mean? And he started to say, if you remember, oh, I think it's going to be like any other tournament, right? And I stopped him in the middle. I interrupted him. I said, hold on. This thing's going to change your life, right? I get you're still going to play big clubs. I understand. But what it's going to do, you're going to find out 20 years after you're retired, like I'm finding out 32 years after the World Cup, that people were inspired by that.
Facts.
That goes way above what club you played for. I know those things are important personally, right, to the individuals. I know that. But what they still don't realize yet is what it's going to look like 20 years from now and who they're going to inspire and how many millions they've already inspired Chuck always talks about he was in, I forget what game, in 1994, right, that you went to, it inspired you. There's millions of...
South Korea, Bolivia.
Okay, there you go.
0-0.
Not even a U.S. game, right? So there are millions of Chucks right now at 9 years old and 10 years old that over the last, whatever it's been, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, they've been inspired already to play the game. So, yeah, it's important we make a deep run. And I think that's going to be the regardless of where the U.S. finishes, that's going to be the sort of everlasting idea that we have about and thought we have about this World Cup is how important it is to the game. So we've had steps along the way, but this one has taken it to another level. And I think we all see now, we all follow World Cups, but how it's different being in it. It just hits different every single day being here in the U.S.
You're telling me that with everything that you have done for American soccer, you think Buckets is going to be the first person to have a Tony Meola tattoo? You don't think someone has a Tony Meola tattoo out there?
I do know he is not the first one to have a tattoo.
There's someone?
Over the years. Well, after 94, yeah. So he's even going to inspire people. They're going to inspire Christian Pulisic tattoos and everything else. No, but there are some. And there will be kids named after. There was one person in Brazil after the Brazil game when we lost 1-0 who named their kid the first name, and then the first name had like 22 middle names, all the names of the U.S. players on their birth certificate.
Shows you.
Yeah.
It's real.
It's impactful.
It's
it really
impactful.
is. I mean, that's a little bit overboard, that one, but it's still impactful.
That's a long to write those on any.
Truly is. Well, Tony, Charlie, the crew is hitting the road yet again because the U.S. men's national team are in action on Monday. So the party isn't stopping. Call it what you want crew hitting the road for the round of 16 matchup. They're going to be in Nashville at the Publix Plaza at Geodis Park. It'll be Charlie, Jimmy, Tony, Marcelo, and Poppy Miller will also be joining them to kick things off at 7 p.m. Eastern with the pregame show, and then they'll be on hand for post-game reaction. So a lot to look forward to, but for right now, we are going to take a quick break here. Much more Golazo Network 48 Nations coverage coming up.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
I look crazy. It's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money. What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
MetLife never felt so good because the stars are out to play Brazil versus Norway. And look at the stars here, Vinny Jr., Matheus Cunha, Erling Haaland and Martin Odegaard. Brazil versus Norway, a match full of stars. And boy, I feel like it's the standard versus the dark horses. So many people talking about these two stars and these two teams because everybody is waiting to see whether or not Norway can make that big step. And on talking about a big step, it's time for us to talk about our Geico Feel Good moments presented by Geico. It feels good to Geico. And talking about people that have taken this World Cup by storm, the Norway community have showcased as to why they're so special, Chuck D.
It's, I mean, it's phenomenal. I got to see it in action in Boston Stadium in Foxborough, and man, they had every section doing this. It was phenomenal. The choreography for this, like to have everybody doing it at the same time. Oh,
Tone, can I get you with a row? Are you gonna be down with a row? Are you gonna be
a row? Yeah, I loved it. I told you guys the story. Went to the Senegal game at MetLife against Norway. And for the first half, the Norwegian fans filled an entire section and the middle section. By the end of the game, the Senegalese fans that filled the entire back of the other goal were also doing the row. I mean, they wanted to get into it. Like, that's how cool. You're doing the opposing teams, right? Their celebration, right? It was awesome to watch live.
And talking about our analysts and our experts here that are excited, of course, for Norway versus Brazil, we need to check in one of our betting analysts. Of course, Buckets knows a thing or two about big games. His bets have been, let's say, up or down throughout this. But I'm interested to hear what his prediction is going into this one.
I've got two bets for us on this Brazil versus Norway match, and this is a game that I'm looking so forward to because we have a Norway side that has just been go, 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 foot on the gas, taking on a Brazil side that's been maybe a little bit lackluster compared to expectations. They had to come back from a deficit against Japan and claw their way back into the game. But first and foremost, as always, I'm expecting goals. And how can you not with the way Norway has been playing with Haaland, with Odegaard, with Sorloth? This team has their foot on the gas for 90 minutes no matter what. I love both teams to score, but that's minus 145. A bit too juicy for me. So let's add over 2.5 goals as well as a same game parlay to get us to plus 110. Norway lost to France 4-1 with their backups, but that still would have cashed. They beat Cote d'Ivoire 2-1. This would have cashed. I love betting on goals with this Norway side. And then bet number 2, the controversial one. And if you've seen my bracket, you know this one's going to be a little bit dicey as I love going for underdogs, but I am all aboard the roll. I am on the Norway rowboat, and I think that they're going to qualify, especially when we get that number at plus 175. I just don't trust Brazil. Even though they beat Japan, Japan showed some glaring weaknesses that if Norway can take advantage of, I believe they will be the better side, and I believe they will be the team to advance at big plus money. Best of luck, everyone.
I still believe in Buckets' best bets. No matter what the recent controversy around it, I still believe in Buckets and I still believe in an identity. Tony shakes his head.
I'm a little worried because it sounds like he's picking Norway. I picked Norway in my bracket here, and the way his bracket's going, I'm like, oh, maybe no changing now.
Well, Tony, give me the opinion in terms of what you see with the dark horses and why you're favoring Norway.
The one thing Brazil hasn't faced is a forward like Erling Haaland so far in the competition, right? And most teams don't, but they haven't faced someone that really occupies their back line at all, right? And I'm with you. I don't think we've seen the best version of Brazil, and I don't know if we're going to. But the matchup with Gabriel and Erling Haaland will relive this one that we see, you know, in the Premier League, and I think he'll be up for it. It's not a guy that hasn't had a lot of touches, right, in matches, but has been really, really influential. It's not a team, this Norwegian side is not a team that plays through Erling Haaland. He's not a guy that you play through, right? He's a guy that has to make the most of his touches when he gets them, right? And then he does so much other work. A little bit concerned with Sorloth still being on that right-hand side because the Ståle Stolbakken has had to fit him in that way. We know that. We knew that coming into the competition. He's a guy that wants to play in the highest point of the field, but because of Erling Haaland, he plays on the right as a right winger. Nusa on the left has been really, really good. watching them live, they're really organized. That's what I like about them. I don't think that Brazil is going to play through them for 90 minutes. And as you mentioned, Japan, if you can run through the midfield, because they don't have a lot of speed, Brazil in the midfield, with Odegaard, with the ball at his feet, he's been really good this tournament. So let's see if they can. It would be an upset for me. I still think Norway beating Brazil, the yellow jersey still means something. But I tipped Norway at the beginning of this to be one of the dark horses, and that's why I rode with them in the bracket.
Chuck D, world-class manager on the sideline, 5 stars on their chest. All of the stars are here for Brazil. Do you still think that they have the vamos or everything else that's needed in terms of progression this time around?
Yeah, because of that guy right there in the front.
Middle.
Vinny Jr. feels like he's coming into this tournament to say, hey, Brazil's not going anywhere, and I am the guy. I'm the next one, the chosen one for the Selecção. Now, I think when we're talking about Ancelotti on the sidelines, making the right adjustments, I'm hoping that he can get this Brazilian side to play the way that he wants them to play, and that this Brazilian side can play from the start and not having to make these crazy, miraculous adjustments, you know, placing Martinelli more as a central player instead of putting him on the wing. But this is a side with Vinny Jr. who can break down anybody 1v1. And giving this tournament, he's really stepped up. These are the moments that they need him to be the Vinny Jr. That he's destined to be, beating people on the dribble, creating opportunities, and scoring. So I think just making sure that that front three is fluid and dynamic is going to be the key for Brazil.
Really, just quick on Vinny Jr. Ryerson, the right back for Norway, is out. Right, went out against Senegal. So they're with their second string, Pedersen, who came in and actually scored a goal against Senegal, but it'll be something he can probably take advantage of.
Just add to the World Cup narrative, the dark horses versus the standard, Norway versus Brazil, and we're going to put it right in the heart of MetLife, of all places as well. It really does need no further introduction, and there's not long left between these two teams. But I tell you what else is not long left in terms of this show. We've only got a few minutes to keep it locked here for 48 Nations on Morning Footy.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, but the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
I look crazy. It's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. They're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money. What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Well, there's plenty coming up on Paramount Plus today. At 4 p.m. Eastern, it'll be 2 hours of coverage for Golazo match day. Chris Whittingham, Marco Messina, Mike Grella, and Marcelo Balboa will recap Australia versus Egypt and look ahead to Argentina versus Cabo Verde. Then at 8 p.m., it is Golazo match night with Adam Hunt, Ian Joy, and Marcelo Balboa, who will be recapping that Argentina versus Cabo Verde match and looking ahead to the late night match between Colombia and Ghana. And at 11:30 p.m., Scoreline will be here to wrap up the entire day. So a lot to look forward to today. Make sure you stay tuned here on the Golazo Network. Much more 48 Nations coverage coming up.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt. What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.